Kings of Dirt is brought to you by Broadlink. Serious bandwidth for serious business. Brother, print, copy, scan, fax, label, and so much more. The all-new Ford Ranger, Ford, Go Further, and KTM, ready to race.
Riaan Van Niekerk was another who raced as well as he ever has done in the opening days, but the South African slowed and lost time at the end of the stage. South Africa's Riaan Van Niekerk leapt back into the top 20. In only his second Dakar, the KTM rider took 5th on the day.
It's really nice to have Xavier out here from the ASO. We're trying to really promote new competitors into the Dakar Rally. And of course, Riaan Van Niekerk will be going back with Broadlink again for the 2015 edition.
It's nice to have a lead number. If you have a bad day, you can up a little bit, a few positions. It definitely helps, on safety side, so you don't ride in the dust all day. So I'm looking forward to it, and it's definitely a good opportunity.
The Dakar has found a great home in South America. We moved down there in 2009 for the first time. Now we have more countries involved. We have been to Bolivia for the first time in 2014. So we really have found a place where you get everything together. The landscapes are absolutely incredible. The routes, the terrain themselves are extremely tough, difficult.
Out of this first Dakar, I've always given 100% in quad racing in my career, and so for this Dakar, I don't want to be big-headed and say I want to go win it, but at the same time, I'm going to give it 100%. And I know at the level that we are in South Africa that we can really do well at this event.
The main goal is for both of us to get to the end. It doesn't matter who wins the Dakar, we're going to win as a team. So, we're going to have technical difficulties, definitely in the desert. There's 9,000 kilometers of racing. Most guys can't even finish a 200-kilometer race in South Africa. So, we're going to ride back up for each other and make sure both of us get to the end.
The Odyssey was part of the brand in 2014. It will be part as well of the brand in 2015 because we know that this world really summarized and gives a pretty good feeling of what the race is. It's really an Odyssey. It was really an Odyssey in 2014. It will be an Odyssey in 2015. But it's a good name that summarizes perfectly the spirit of the race.
Broadlink have been absolutely fantastic. The whole company stood behind us, they've believed in us, and we're hopefully going to get Riaan into the top 10 come 2015.
With some of our South African stars heading across to Dakar in 2015, we saw fit to look back at how the national off-road season had unfolded. Round 1 of the championship started in Wolmaranstad, where Lawrence Mahoney came back from injury to control and dominate the first event, whilst teammate and newcomer to the championship Ross Branch followed in second place, and 2013 champion Kenny Gilbert finished third. Round 2 headed to the northern Cape town of Windsorton, where Kenny Gilbert and 2013 champion rival Ruan Roberts battled for third place, with Roberts winning the fight, whilst Ross Branch finished second behind Lawrence Mahoney once again. The brother KTM teammates had the upper hand early in the season. The Bell 400 in Vryheid formed round 3 and was fast and dusty with some exciting action. Lo Schmidt had won 2 races before in the OR3 category, and even though it was really fast, still managed a third overall behind Kenny Gilbert in second, whilst Ross Branch took his maiden victory to lead the championship going into round 4. Mahoney failing to finish this race with technical problems. The 4th round was another new venue in Stella, which forms part of the Kalahari Desert. Tyron Miller, leading the OR2 championship, rode hard to finish the day in 4th, whilst a huge dice ensued between Kenny Gilbert and Lawrence Mahoney, and after Gilbert made a small mistake with 20 kilometers to go, Mahoney pounced to take second overall. But it was Ross Branch who went 2 for 2 and started to pull away in the championship fight out front.
Came over a blind rise and I just saw Ross's bike lying one side and he's lying the other side. and he had such a big crash.
At round 5 in rates, Ross Branch had a huge crash. He did get up, but was unable to score any points. Tim Young got his first podium of the year, and Kenny Gilbert finished second to head to the last round, leading the championship overall, whilst Lawrence Mahoney took win number 3 on the season and would be in the title chase with Gilbert and Branch come the final. The final round in Racemere Bulls was a tense one, as any of the top 3 could take the championship. Ross Branch fought back hard to take third place. Kenny Gilbert held his nerve yet again to finish second and take the overall championship and retain the number 1 plate. But Lawrence Mahoney took his 4th win of the season and thus taking the OR1 Open Class Championship. If this season was anything to go by, 2015 is set to be epic.
What do you think the day holds?
Well, I think today's a new area for the Botswana. We've never been in this sort of area. We've always been out around the Gaborone side. So we're here at Sandy, so we'll see what it looks like.
Of course, there's something else at stake as well, in that there's the Dakar Challenge being held. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Dakar Challenge can save us on our Dakar budget up to 220,000 Rand. So we definitely want to try and win that prize today, if possible. Yeah, it's a great opportunity.
The Desert 1000 is always a challenging event, and having it as a Dakar Challenge made it even more so. Brian Baragwanath made it look easy though, as he led from start to finish to take overall honours and win the Dakar Challenge. Not only was he dominant here, but in the entire national off-road season, winning 6 out of 6 rounds.
Brian, you've won the Dakar Challenge, but it was a pretty close call at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a very good day yesterday. We came in, I think I was 26 minutes ahead of the next quad. Coming in today was on the nick of time. I literally had to fight my way in by halfway into the loop. I didn't think, or halfway into the race, I didn't think I was going to make it home, but I managed to. We had an oil leak on the engine. I managed to scavenge oil along the route. And so yeah, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to get the chance to go to Dakar now.
But obviously it's still quite a way away, because there's quite a few things that need to happen before you can actually go. Absolutely.
This is my 3rd year in planning for Dakar, and it's a lot to come as a privateer and try and get there. So this is going to get me there. I'm pretty sure of it. So I'm really, really excited. I'm really happy that the Toyota Desert 1000 has given us this opportunity. It's an international platform which I've always wanted to compete on. So it's a lifelong dream, and I hope it's going to be good.
The Dakar Challenge is a trophy we give to some competitors all around the world. We have prestigious races, such as the 1000 Desert Race, the Australasian Safari, the Baja 500, as an example. And the idea is really to give a chance to pure amateurs and new talents to compete on the Dakar. I was in Botswana for the 1000 Desert Race over the last 3 days because we have organized there a Dakar Challenge. The Dakar Challenge is a trophy that gives a free registration to some competitors. We had one in the car category, one in the bike category. So we got our 2 winners that will get next January in Buenos Aires, Argentina, to go through Chile and Bolivia and make the race itself, the Dakar itself.
Dakar Challenge is basically a rider entry, and which covers almost everything around the Dakar. So it works out to 220,000 Rand from our budget, which is now cleared by Dakar. So that'll be our shipping from France and it'll be all our food at the Dakar, all our fuel at the Dakar during racing stages. So it's a great help.
Yeah, financially it's quite a lot. It's about 240,000 rand for the rider, about 300,000 rand for the car crew. So it's a big support we bring once again to help those guys making the step that will bring them to South America.
Brian, he was planning on going to Dakar. It's great that he won the Dakar Challenge, and it's good for promoting, South Africans at Dakar. So for sure, it's great to see more people participating in the event, and I hope there'll be more in the future.
Riaan and myself, we've done our homework over the years, and in some ways we've burnt our fingers and we've learned a hell of a lot, and we can pass that on to all the new competitors going from South Africa. Great to have Brian Baragwanath winning the Dakar Challenge and going out there. I think he's going to do really well, and we have helped the guys as much as possible, giving them some advice on logistics and road books and what to look out for at the Dakar. So all in all, we really are trying to help South Africa do a better job at the Dakar.
It's been a great build-up, from Hannes, Saaijman and the whole team all together. It's been a great preparation effort. A lot of work's been gone into it, lots and lots of long hours. Not only are we riding the bikes, we're also building them. So it takes a lot of preparation, a lot of R&D, a lot of testing, and throughout the last 2 years, it never felt like we were going to get to these ending steps.
The problem with the quads is you can't just go and buy a normal thing off the shelf. You need to do all the R&D ourselves, build everything in South Africa, which does help a lot, because when you go over to Argentina now, we've got all the technical know-how. So if something does go wrong, we know how to fix it.
Well, with 6 months to go, really there's not that much time left, so really it's going to hit it hard. There's lots of riding that we need to do, lots of navigational training. Tying up a little bit of the sponsorship still at this stage of the game, but there's not really much time left.
Time's running out, and I've got 6 months left. Lots of training to be done between now and Dakar. So I have to get in gear and step it up a notch.
We get back on this gigantic loop from Buenos Aires to Buenos Aires that will allow the competitors to leave what they used to have at the very beginning of the Dakar in South America, with all the experiences we now have in South America and all the spice that David Castera is putting here and there to make the race extremely interesting.
Xavier Kavori ran through just about everything all the competitors from South Africa needed to know about the 2015 event. It was very valuable not only for the competitors, but also from the logistics point of view. A major scoop to have the Frenchman and second man in charge of Dakar here on South African shores.
A great support from the local populations. 4 million people alongside the roads last year in Bolivia, Chile and Argentina. So this is incredible. Yeah, it's a massive part of Dakar, definitely, and this is why the Dakar is so successful on television, because it's not only racing, and some people which are not interested in racing follow the Dakar because it's a fantastic way to travel from your coach, and there's a lot of people interested in getting to South America, to travel in South America, thanks to all the images they have seen on television. Definitely, this is the best, one of the best probably advertising campaign that the countries can have to promote their territories, their landscapes, their culture and their populations.
The event of Dakar has a huge fan base throughout the world, and the amount of views and followers that were reported was staggering, to say the least. The Quad Championship in 2014 was just as exciting as the bikes. However, there was one dominant rider as he opened the season with a win in Willemstad, with 2013 champion Yuri Meyer finishing in second. Northern Cape, Yuri Meyer had some major problems with the bike and was unable to finish, whilst David Hollis took the bottom step of the podium behind Saaijman, who was second overall and Q2 class winner. It was another perfect race for Brian Baragwanath, who was faultless all day long. In round 3 at the Bell 400, a new name came to the fore in Andre Park, who finished 4th, a young man with a bright future ahead of him. The dice on the day was between David Hollis and Justin Robert. It carried on all the way to the finish, with Hollis winning out, but Robert clocked his first ever podium at a national. The man on the day yet again, though, was Brian Baragwanath as he bagged a hat-trick of wins. Stella was the next stop, and Jaco Moller was back on form to finish 3rd place, with Andre Park in 4th and David Hollis dropping down to 5th. Yuri Meyer had problems again, but still managed to grab 2nd place, whilst Brian Baragwanath disappeared into the distance, taking win number 4. Round 5 in the rates event saw some old names return to the podium, with Andre Duplessis fighting back and finishing 3rd for the day. It was a welcome sight to see Enrico da Silva also return to the podium after quite a few years out of the championship with a 2nd place behind Brian Baragwanath, who was now on his way to make history. If he could finish the final round in 1st, he would go undefeated on the season. The final round is where history was made, and Brian Baragwanath did make it the perfect season, with Saaijman 2nd and Jaco Moller in 3rd.
It's been a great build-up, from Saaijman and the whole team all together. It's been a great preparation effort. A lot of work's gone into it, lots and lots of long hours. Not only are we riding the bikes, we're also building them. So it takes a lot of preparation, a lot of R&D, a lot of testing, and throughout the last 2 years, it never felt like we were going to get to these ending steps. Being here today at Sascock's a wonderful opportunity to meet our top heads in sport and to see who runs our sporting organizations.
Excited. I think it's the first time that Sascock have taken an interest in cross country, and they're talking a little bit about getting involved, developing the sport a little bit. So we'll have to see where it goes from here.
People will after today say, "Oh, we didn't know about it. Oh, is that this whole thing of Dakar?" So for us as a confederation, because they are all our members, it is important that we give them that exposure. And that's what I said to the federation. Here's an opportunity for you to be given exposure so that our athletes can understand that we are behind them. We invited them here. We want you, members of the media, to know that they are here. They are going in January. The eyes and ears will be full of dust. Well, that's part of their call.
I'd like to acknowledge and thank you Sascock for acknowledging our form of sport, of motorsport.
There was one race that I could qualify. You have to qualify. And there was a race in the Florence Rally, a world championship. And I decided, okay, that won't be enough. Let's show to the people that they have guts and things. And I actually wrote a letter to the director of Dakar that I will leave 26th of April, ride 22 days to Egypt, and then participate in the Florence Rally, and then later ship the bike over to Europe, and can I then pay my entry at the Dakar headquarters at Parade. And it actually happened 100% like that.
He got on his bike from Johannesburg, he rode it all the way to Egypt, he got there a day before the race, he raced the event. And I don't know how he did it, but I mean, that was just like a Dakar on its own. I'm sure you guys all remember Alfie Cox. He's had incredible results at the Dakar over the last decade. Of course, he moved into the cars, and there were some guys in South Africa very passionate about getting South African bikers back into the Dakar.
and Mike Brown from Broadlink. He started the initiative and sent Riaan and myself over to the Dakar. My first Dakar was in 2012, and been fantastic with Broadlink. You know, they're so passionate about South African sportsmen and getting people over to Dakar, and it's really great to have them behind us.
Sometimes, you know, we get the impression there's only this one vehicle, this Toyota vehicle, and yet there are a lot of them running around there, and that is what we want to give exposure to. That there are bikes, there are quad bikes, they're all out there, and there are even people on their own without the support of a sponsor. Hopefully after today, you know, there are people who say that, oh yeah, give them some support. For those people, those two gentlemen there, to be on their own there privately, we need to make sure that there's somebody who comes to the party and say, we are here to support you. You're South Africans. You'll be amongst millions of people there, and the South African flag will be raised there. That will be magic for us.
A bit more rich about the Dakar. I think it's the biggest motorsport event in the world. It's got a bigger following than Formula One, a bigger following than any other motorsport event. It's got 1 million people at the start of the event. There's 1 million people at the finish of the event, and there's 1 billion followers of the event around the world.
I think Saaijman, you know, everybody thinks it's just Olympic sports and rugby and athletics, and it's good for them, for me especially, that they note that there's motorcycles as well and motorsport in general, and that they take note of us, and it's good to know that the country's behind you.
The years gone past, Vickers van Deventer, he actually won the quad category, and again Brian Baragwanath now is our hopeful for 2015. Multiple South African quad champion, like the Petronetti brothers at the moment that have won the Dakar multiple times. I can tell you that Brian Baragwanath has got a really good chance of winning the quad category in the Dakar in January.
Honestly, we don't know what's coming. I think it's going to be tougher than what we expect at the moment. Like I say, again, it's 9,000 kilometers of racing, and there's all different types of terrain. I mean, we normally see the video footage, it's only desert racing, but it's not. I mean, there's hardpack, there's riverbeds, there's rocky, we go over the mountain section, so it's a bit of everything out there. Honestly, we don't know what to expect. Going there, we've got confidence in our bikes, we've got confidence in ourselves, so we want to keep South Africa proud.
It's a very long race. I go there with the same head, try and keep cool, and you know, you need to get through 2 weeks of racing. You know, lots can happen, but I'm going to try my best and hopefully not make too many mistakes.
I think we'll have the top likes of Ignacio Casale from Chile and those sort of competitors we have to compete against. But for us, you know, it's a full focus on our full potential. And I think if we can reach our full potential, we'll definitely do well at this event.
Kings of Dirt is proudly brought to you by Broadlink, serious bandwidth for serious business. Brother, print, copy, scan, fax, label, and so much more. The all-new Ford Ranger, Ford, go further. And KTM, ready to race.